Let's get the party started in here. Let's get the party started in there. Alright. We are currently above VWAP. So, waiting for this 5-minute range. And we'll see what happens. So far, market's dropping. It's kind of, in the meantime, let me look at first and foremost. First and foremost, let me look at news. Starting out with news. Make sure I'm not stuck in a freaking news event. Wednesday. Alright. No. No news today, so that's good. Now let's go to the higher time frames, kind of see what's going on. I'll start from the hourly chart, kind of work my way down, back down to the 5-minute chart, and kind of see what's going on here. So hourly chart, first thing I noticed, we do have a little bit of an imbalance down here, a bullish imbalance, so that could be a potential area for price to kind of retrace back to. We got lows down there, got a pivot point. So, all right, 15-minute chart. Again, we got right here imbalance paired with, actually that imbalance has already been filled, so that doesn't matter. So far the hourly chart has that one imbalance there. Right, yeah. We got these lows down here. What would be nice, honestly, if price could kind of come down further, take out those lows, and then maybe we see a bounce off the 200 or some kind of strength buying pressure down there. All right, we got 1 minute left till this 5-minute candle. 1 minute till this 5-minute candle. I'm gonna go ahead and start marking out the high of that 5-minute pretty much. I think as long as nothing crazy happens, that high is pretty much set, I think, for that 5-minute. So there's that high, and I'll get the low ready. Let's see. All right, we're still dropping, so we got 30 seconds left. We'll see where this 5-minute candle closes, but all right, this is actually a really good area because we're right at VWAP. So if we can take out those lows down there, would be ideal. So this is actually starting to, I'm starting to set up like a pretty decent trade. If this can actually play out the way I want it. All right, 5-minute time frame, 5-minute range set. Dang. All right, so there's that 5-minute range. Drop down to the 1 minute. Drop down to the 1 minute. And we wait. So now we also have those. Let me actually go down to the 15-minute. So this is pretty much what I would love to happen right now, right? 15-minute chart. Right, we got these lows down here. What would be ideal is for price to kind of come down here, take out these lows, and then buying pressure start to step back in. That would be the ideal thing to happen. Buying pressure step back in and we start ripping back up. Because you see, we're in pretty big uptrend, right? You could see this pretty big uptrend. So all pre-market long, this thing has been grinding higher and higher and higher. So if it can take out these lows before it moves higher, it would be perfect. That would be pretty much like an A setup for me, considering VWAP is down there supporting it too. But we gotta get down there. That's the problem. We need sellers to keep stepping in here. But I like it so far. I really do like it. As long as it But you know what's crazy? What I've noticed? I'm telling you, people have like this weird thing where they call me while I start streaming. All day I can have no one call me, but as soon as I start going live in the mornings, everybody gets an alarm to call me. Alright, what was I gonna say? So like, what I've noticed, and this is what goes back to, you just have to take your setups, right? I mean, it's like, there are times where you think it's like an A+ setup, right? Everything is looking good. Everything is looking perfect. A+ setup, you take it and it ends up being a loss, right? And then you have those other setups where you're like, man, I'm gonna size down a little bit. I don't really like this trade. It's not really an A+ setup for me. And guess what? Those end up being winners. So it's like, you never know what trade is gonna be a loss and what trade is gonna be a winner. So you just have to take your setup and let the probabilities play out. So it's like, just because everything can look good and it's an A+ setup does not mean that can't be a losing trade. So you don't want to, you know, just because it's A+ and then cancel your stop and then be like, well, this is an A+ setup. It'll go back up. It's an A+ setup. I'm not gonna have a stop loss, but yeah, it comes back to bite you. All right, looking really good. I like this. I like this. Oh yeah. All right, let's see if we can actually. We need to close back below. We need to close outside this 5-minute range. We need to get that closure outside that range. We need to close outside this 5-minute range. We got 20 seconds left. 20 seconds. I'm hoping this thing closes outside and doesn't push back inside. Oh gosh. Come on. Let's go. 5 seconds. Nope. Oh my gosh, man. Bruh. Alright. We'll see, we'll see. Now we got a gap start to form. If this candle closes outside this 5-minute range, we got that gap is gonna form. 20 seconds left. Now, after this candle closes outside the 5-minute range, what I'll be looking for is for buyers to step back in super aggressively, leaving behind a bullish imbalance back inside this range. Once a bullish imbalance gets formed back inside that range, that would be my cue to kind of take it to the next area of liquidity. So there's the close outside the range. There's buyers stepping back in immediately. Now let's see if we can, and we're bouncing off view op too, so we're getting that bounce off view op. All right, let's see it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Can they do it? I mean, it's bullish. The overall pre-market trend is just grinding higher. So, but does that mean we're going to continue going higher? No, it doesn't. We could easily reverse here and continue going down. This is kind of the do or die kind of area. What price is going to do here? Either it breaks back inside the range, we start pushing up, or it starts dumping down to another level because it's trying to sweep that 15-minute I was talking about earlier. It's trying to sweep it. Buyers are stepping in. If you know, buyers can't push it up, then it's going to go to the next level, which is way further down there. So, and if it goes to the next level, I'd have to switch to my other accounts for my other strategy, not this one. Alright, filling in that imbalance. Let's see what happens here. Does it, and if it inverses this imbalance, also another good sign, right? Alright, there's the buyers. Now, we kind of need another candle to kind of show, right, that buyers are still aggressive. So this candle needs to kind of push up and form a gap. There's a gap there. We'll see. We still have time. I'm not going to try to jump the gun. So I'm going to start to try to calculate my risk if this gap does form so I can be ahead of the curve. It may just get filled, but I want to be ready just in case. Oh, come on, man. Nope. Filled the gap. No gap. Sellers are aggressive. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Son of a gun. I'm on the... It's a 1 minute chart. 1 minute chart. At this point, I want another push down. I want sellers to take over. Maybe take out this low one more time and then give me that gap. It's like they're listening to me. It's like... It's like they're listening to me. Wow. All right, there's the other sweep. Let's see what happens. You're gonna sweep it one more time to move it back up, or is this gonna be the dump through that pushes us lower? That gap is important for me. I need that gap to get formed. Bouncing directly off VWAP. I mean, that to the T. VWAP is literally the bottom of that wick. So... Buyers trying to step in again. Alright, let's see it. There's the other attempt. There's another attempt. Let's see it. Is this the gap? Oh, come on. Ugh! Wow. Holy crap. This may be the gap. I knew it. I told you. I literally called it. I was like, watch. I want him to come down here, sweep out that low one more time. Sweep out that low one more time and then move it back up. Look at that. Look at that. We still got, I still need that other candle open up. So it's still not a gap. So, question is, can we move on? If we do fill this gap, now I gotta kind of watch out where should I have my target. Pre-market highs, body candle pre-market highs, probably. I don't want to get... Entry would be like right there, so it would be pretty much say 20, 90, 90, 90, 90. Oh my gosh! As soon as I'm calculating risk to take this trade, it just fills the freaking... Dang it. No gap. Bruh. What are they doing to me? God, this chop is wild. TikTok DMs. If I don't, I get a lot of spam in my DMs, so I mean, there's a chance that I may not see your message. I get so much spam in my DMs. Shorts, you long or short? I'm currently not in a trade, but I want to take a long. I wanted to take a long if I got the setup, but just buyers aren't giving me the go ahead. I'm not getting what I want to see. I mean, it's pushing up, but it's not. I'm looking for a gap to form, a bullish gap inside this range. To kind of, that would be my confirmation that buyers are aggressive enough for me to take a long. Right now, right? Nope, buyers are not aggressive enough. At this point, now, if we keep dumping, I could switch to my other account, so this could be a short. This keeps dumping through the lows. Now I'm kind of shifting biases. If it keeps dumping aggressively all the way down here, now my idea would be possibly to push back up to reject off that kind of area. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to switch accounts here. There's still a chance. There's still a chance that this thing could... We'll see. I don't want to switch accounts and then this thing rip back up and then give me a setup for this account. So, if it starts really dumping all the way down here, my sign of invalidation would pretty much be where the risk to reward doesn't make sense anymore, right? Because my stops have to be below these lows. If it does kind of push back in, target would be kind of these highs up here. So if I get a setup, right, say back inside this range, and the risk is way more than the reward, then it wouldn't make sense for me, obviously. I'm up 5K. Nice. Scale down. I don't know how much you're risking per trade, but take it easy. Don't go hardcore. And that's 5K is really good if you're SMT at the highs. Huh. Well, now kind of right. Here's the other thing. Right? Look on the 15 minute. If this thing fails to kind of push back up at a certain point, right? Right? If this thing drops, now we're also at the 200, which could be a bounce area. But if this thing drops hard enough, this kind of becomes, instead of it sweeping this level, this would become resistance now. Say if this thing drops all the way down here, and kind of, if this 15-minute candle closes heavy, right? Then, if it pushes back up, my idea would be that this is going to hold as resistance. So, we got, what? When's that new 15-minute candle open? Right now, we're on the... So, 10 o'clock, pretty much. 10 a.m. So, in 10 minutes, this 15-minute candle is going to be prints a new one. This 15-minute candle closes heavy down here. My idea would become this become resistance. So far, this could still be a sweep, right? You could see the wick. This could still be a sweep to go back up. It hasn't really invalidated the long setup just yet. There's still hope. There's still hope. Alright, there's the push back up. It's that 200, man. It's the 200 that's keeping it down. It's making higher lows. So that's one thing I got to be mindful of. Making higher lows. We'll see. All right, depending on how this candle closes, I'm not going to jump the gun. I mean, it's... I keep calculating risk, and then it just dumps back down and fills it last second. So we got... All right, we got, this looks like a potential setup here. I'm gonna put my order in. If this candle closes now. All right, let's see. Please do not follow me. Do not copy me. All right, so we got, and then pretty much TP would be kind of these, right there would be TP, where my blue line is. If this thing could actually pull back and fill me in and not rip without me. But we'll see. We'll see, we'll see. I'm not chasing it. I'm not chasing it, that's for sure. If this wants to go without me, totally fine. It's gonna hurt me a little bit because it's gonna suck that I miss a trade. What doesn't fit, it doesn't give me the entry I want, but listen. Come on, pull back. Pull back. Now. Come back. Baby, come back to me. Yeah, I'm trying to enter. I'm trying to enter in the gap. Waiting for a pullback. If this can give it to me. Oh, come on, man. I was wrong. And I kind of wanted to bounce, you know, fill that gap and bounce off that 5-minute low. Come on. Oh my gosh. Why? 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 Bro. Oh my gosh. What a freaking wild, dude. Come on, man. Once it breaks this high, I cancel my order. Once it breaks this high, I cancel my order. Son of a... Bro, this is wild. Why'd it have to leave me? That freaking sucks. Oh my gosh. I don't trade. I don't do crypto anymore. I don't teach crypto. As long as it's not, as long as it's still above, for me, as long as it hasn't swept this high up here, I'm still good. Once this candle, once it sweeps that high, I'm canceling my order because then it becomes invalid. Freaking sucks, man. And what was I supposed to do? There's no way. I'm not gonna enter all the way up here. Why? I need a pullback. Oh my gosh. There's the line. If it takes out that line, I'm switching to my other accounts. Cause it left without me. It left without me! You son of a gun! I can't say what I want to say. Bruh. That freaking sucks. That hurts, man. It hurts. That's a part of trading. This is where it separates you from a beginner trader and an experienced trader. Are you gonna chase it or are you gonna let it go without you because it didn't give you the entry you wanted? I mean, I follow my plan. That would have been my entry. I needed that pullback, at least to that gap, to give me the best possible entry for the best possible risk to reward. And this is a part of trading. Sometimes it just leaves without you. You know where it's going, you know, but it still goes without you, and you can't do anything about it. You can try to enter higher and have a horrible risk to reward. I'm still waiting for it to take out the high. Once it takes out that high, it's it. It's game over for this. At least this setup right here. Because then it could... Bro, that sucks. Like, such a good... What makes me mad is it's such a good setup. And I don't get filled. Like, you don't see good setups like this all the time. I'm down 2K. Dang. Make sure to have your stop in. Because this thing, it could rip. It could rip through the highs, so have your invalidation point in. Are you assuming? No, I'm not assuming it's going to drop pretty hard. I mean, for me, it's still valid as long as it doesn't take out that high. Once it takes out the high, then when it comes back down, then it gets... There. That's invalidated now. Why? Because... Let me make sure all my orders are canceled so I don't accidentally get into a freaking trade. And then I'll explain why. The reason is because now... Dang it, someone's... Here, give me a second. I'll be back in a second. All right, like I was saying, the reason is now it could sweep it, right? Before, if it hasn't swept the highs, it could still pull back, fill this imbalance, and rip to the upside, right? That could still happen. But as once we sweep these highs, now we're in dangerous territory of this coming back down and, you know, inversing this and wanting to take out those lows again. That's kind of why I was waiting. If those highs got swept, that's invalidation. Dang, I missed the long setup for the scalp. Crap. I'm going to switch to my other accounts because there's not going to be any more setup. This was the setup that I didn't get filled on for these accounts. So I'm going to have to switch to my other accounts for my... let's see. Give me a second. Let me switch. I hate switching because it takes a little bit... takes a little bit of legwork. We have to switch every the copy trader and all that. Man, that's a bummer. I missed that. It's okay. There will always be another setup, so it's not like it's, you know, another setup's going to... These are my scalping accounts, so these I scalp really fast. I'm not trying to get these accounts. I'm in some drawdown, so I'm trying to get out of it. That's why I'm scalping these. My other accounts. PA. Alright, well... took this long on my shit now. Yeah, that's all that's what trading is. You wait for the good setups, you take it, and you move on with your day. I wanted to take on these accounts, this would have been a good trade right here. This imbalance. Kind of imbalance scalp. Just quick scalp. Why is that invalidation? It's invalidation because before, right? Before it took out these highs, in my mind, I understand that we could still get a pullback, kind of fill in this imbalance, and then go higher. But as soon as price takes out these highs, now if it takes out the highs and starts dumping, it could inverse this one. It could go now for the lows, right? Because a lot of times what you see price do is it takes out highs and lows. So once it takes out a high, there's a higher likelihood it could go for a low. So I don't want, once it takes out this high, I don't want to be caught if it starts dumping back down, have my order here, it runs through my order and goes for the lows and stops me out, right? So as long as it hasn't taken out the high, my idea is it still maybe wants to go for those highs. So if it pulls back to the gap or the imbalance, it may be just pulling back to the imbalance to go higher. But if it takes out the high, now it may be pulling back to go for those lows. And if my order is in the way, it's going to run through my order and go for those lows and stop me out. So it automatically just becomes a lower probability setup after it takes those highs. So these accounts, I'm scalping like 10-point moves. So it looks like we're ripping. God, that sucks. Because that was such a... This is the hard part about trading. You get A+ setups and you miss them. You miss the A+ setup and then it's like, crap. Like, I literally... I knew this could happen right here. This is the worst part about my strategy is missing trades like this. And I gotta stay level-headed and not be like, oh man, next time I'm just gonna jump in. Because I could have technically jumped in at the close of this candle, right? I waited. No, wait, sorry. At the close of this candle, because that was the candle. This was the candle. This was the candle that left the gap. So I would have had to get in all the way up here. Obviously, you could see that risk to reward becomes a lot less now. So I got in. I could have got in there, but I wanted to wait. I had my order in right there. Just for it to pull back, fill this gap, and then bounce right back up. Holy crap. Bruh. Yeah, we could have a liquidity sweep to the downside. That's for sure. I mean, it's, yeah. It has a long way to go now, right? All the way down there, but it is definitely possible. We're very bullish. Holy crap, man. But tell me I didn't like... Bro, this price action reading is just gold. Bro, where will you find anyone else reading price action like I do? I told you, I literally told you exactly what my confirmation would be, right? We were looking for a long setup here. I almost got a gap, right? No gap, no gap, no gap, no gap. I said this drop right here, where was it? There was a drop here where I literally said it could take out those lows one more time. I think it was this one. So I actually took it out again, but I was looking for that gap. That gap was my confirmation. Look at that. Push back in. That was my confirmation. Gap left, back inside that range. At least 50% of that gap has to be inside the range. So you can see at least 50% is inside that range. That shows me that buyers are holding it up here. The buyers are stepping in very aggressively. And look at that. After that gap gets formed, look at that. Straight rip to the upside. Now, I don't know where to scalp, bro. I want to scalp this. Possibly, maybe one of these gaps. You're riding it? Dang. Make sure you take profits, because this is, don't get too greedy. If you leave a runner... don't get too greedy. Take the runner at a specific level, right? Don't just think it's going to just rip all day long. Take what you have a plan. Take 50, most of it off, leave a runner, and then... I just don't want you to get greedy and then this thing pull back all the way. This thing can pull back. It's very strong, though. Now it's like if it pulls back, it could bounce off, right? That old... Let me show you. That old resistance now theoretically should, right? If it's going to go higher, now it could pull back and hold this as support. So if price kind of pulls back, it could hold all this big resistance now as massive support to go higher. And that's the 5-minute range top. So... $25.50. See. Oh my gosh. And right off that 200. Look at that bounce. Bounce right off 200. All right. Oh, so you already took prop. Nice. Yeah, you took profits. Nice. Now we got the top of this range, right? We got the... Hold on. Now we kind of... I wouldn't be opposed to possibly... I don't know if that's going to be a good trade. This strategy is a lot harder for me. This scalping strategy, to be honest, is a lot harder for me to... It's more like... My other strategy, this big move right here, this strategy is very like... Right? I know exactly what to look for. I know exactly where to get in. It's very... There's no emotions tied to this strategy right here. No emotions whatsoever. Because I know exactly what I'm looking for. This strategy is like... This scalping, other strategy that I use on my other account, scalping, is more like... Should I take it off this gap? Should I take it off this one? I don't know. Like, it's a little more discretionary. Versus the other one is more mechanical. I'm just like, I see the trade, I take it. This is more like, should I take it here or should I take it here? It's more difficult. Alright, I gotta make sure I size and don't. I did that before. I sized more aggressive for the other strategy, and then when I'm trading, I forget to change my size, and I go in super heavy on accident. whales out. Retail gambling on low volume? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Retail gambling. I wouldn't say this is low volume. This is wild. Look at this move. I don't have the volume bars up, but I would assume this is not low volume considering the massive move we got up. Now up here, if you have volume bars and you can kind of see that it's trying to push up, but volume is dying down. Yeah, that's we could that could be a sign of a pullback. I'd like to see possibly maybe take a scalp off this imbalance right here. I mean, that's the only kind of trade that I see for myself. I mean, that's the only imbalance really that I could potentially take a scalp. The only thing is it's right below that pivot point, which kind of sucks. Yeah, this could be the first sign of like a reversal type of thing. But don't see, the thing about it is trying to catch like a reversal like this. I mean, you're trying to catch something that's been spiking. Like, could you catch it? If you have a system and a strategy that shows you, then yeah, by all means. But if you're just trying to guess of this thing reversing here, yeah, you can catch it sometimes, but most of the time you try to catch these kind of moves and you try to catch the top. Like, sometimes you'll catch it, and then other times you'll lose more money trying to catch it. Trying to catch the reversal on days where it doesn't happen. You have to have confirmations. Just like I had a confirmation for this long, you have to have confirmations for your strategy. In this volatile market, there is no system. What do you mean there's no system? So if there's no system, how did I know it was gonna go? How did I know it was gonna go higher? Obviously, I didn't know 100%. If you've been watching, when's the last time I took a loss on this strategy? When's the last time I took a loss? It was a long time ago. Last time I took an actual loss on this strategy was actually a decent time ago. Now, to be fair, I don't always get a setup. There are days where I don't get a setup for this strategy. So it's not like every single day of the month I have the setup. But honestly, I don't remember when's the last time I took a legit loss. And by legit loss, I mean, you know, I took this trade and it stopped me out. But saying that in this volatile market there's no system is just like I mean, that's not true at all. There are plenty of opportunity. There could be opportunity in your face. You don't see it because it's not your strategy. Somebody else saw a perfect opportunity. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of different strategies out there. So it's like, yeah, I almost feel like it's just a coping, like, to say that there's no system in this volatile market. It's almost like a coping thing to try to make yourself, you know, say that, oh, I'm losing because there's no way of winning. That's kind of what it is. What was your confirmation for it to rip up again? So, right? So, I had this 5 minute 5-minute range marked out, right? I look for this every single day. I look for this. My sign, right? If it breaks outside this 5-minute range, I look for a bullish gap to get formed back inside this 5-minute range. At least 50% of that gap has to be inside that range. So, right, I was looking for that gap. Here's the first close outside the range. Now I was paying attention for a gap to form back inside the range. That would have been my cue that buyers are strong enough that we may push up higher to the next levels of liquidity, right? Or the next levels. So, looking for that imbalance, looking for it. Boom, there's my first cue. I saw this gap get formed. That was my sign that buyers are strong enough that they could push it for those highs. So, right, you saw my order sitting right there. My idea, I put my order as soon as this 1-minute candle opened up. I put my order there. Just never pulled back, never filled me in. But I'm not going to chase it, so I just let it go. Same thing here. Let me show you something. Watch. This was yesterday. Look at yesterday. I'll show you this yesterday. Or was it 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 9:30? Where is it? Crap, I don't have my, where's that 5-minute range? Hold on. 9:30. 9:30. All right, here's the top. Here's the top of the 5-minute range. And I think my chart is actually off by a minute. I think this chart is off a little bit. Crap. Hold on, let me do it this way. I'm gonna go to the 5. I just want to show you. I want to show you. All right, 10. Where is it? 9:35. All right, here's the top, and then here's the bottom of that range. Right? There's that 9. There's the 9:35 candle. Watch. Now, let's go to yesterday. Same kind of crap happened yesterday. Same thing. I was looking for the same thing. I don't want to miss it. 12, 11 o'clock, 10:30. All right, here it is. 5-minute range. That box. What did price do? Right? Price dumped through. Now, it had a lot bigger sell-off than today. But look what happens. Price dumped down. Started ripping back up. Look what happened. Back inside the 5-minute range. Bullish gap gets formed. What does price do? Price pulls back into that bullish gap. The first bullish gap that gets formed. And what happens after that? Look at the rip to the upside after that gap. Same kind of crap happened. Now, this one is a little bit different in a sense of you technically should have had your stop below these lows. Obviously, the stop down here would not make sense. Too much of a risk. So your stop would have had to been below these lows right here, these internal lows. And look at that, back inside. Same thing. Same rip, same confirmation, same strategy. 2 days in a row already. I'm telling you, man, it's... Right? Same thing today. Let's go to today. Wow. Exits outside the 5-minute range. Pulls back inside. Gap. Look at that. The only difference between yesterday and today is yesterday, it filled this imbalance. Today, it left without filling the imbalance. But look at the rip. Sorry, let me see if I can... let's see. Move this, so... alright, check out DNA. I don't trade stocks. I just trade NASDAQ. Talking about macro. Oh, I mean, macro is... I don't, yeah, I mean, I look at... I don't care about the macro time frame. I don't care about, like, the bigger time frame. The bigger time frame doesn't really, like, it does matter to me, but when I get the setup, I take it, right? I mark it out on the 5-minute chart and I take it on the 1-minute chart. That's the system. That's all it is. I'm not really, I do pay attention to like the hourly chart, all that, like, but it's not gonna make me not take the trade if, you know, the hourly chart is saying something different. If I get the setup, I'm taking it, regardless of what the macro says. I'm scalping, right? I'm not taking some long-term trade. I'm literally scalping to the next level. So it's not like I'm holding for long-term for me to, for the higher time frames to matter that much. Yeah, I'm a day trader. If you're a swing trader, absolutely. Higher time frames make a huge difference to you. For somebody who's in and out of trades, you know, scalping 60-point moves or whatever, I'm not, you know, it doesn't really matter too much for me. Is the volume really low? Let me see, actually. I mean, yeah, the volume, the higher it pushes up, I mean, volume's gonna start dying down. I mean, it's not gonna just rip up all the time. I mean, you have a bunch of people, you have profit taking, right? The higher it gets, the more likely it is gonna pull back at some point. So, it's, volume is naturally going to die down up here. And you can kind of see, yeah, you can kind of see the volume bars, right? The higher it pushes up, volume is dying down when the higher it's pushing up. It's a red flag, yeah, of course. It is a red flag. I don't pay it, like, I don't really, like, that doesn't make a difference for me, but I don't really pay attention to volume bars, but, you know, it's all a short squeeze. Yeah, that could be definitely a part of it. People saw these negative sentiment news and maybe a lot of people are in shorts, so but, you know, I mean, see, for the NASDAQ, I don't know if we'd be considered a short squeeze for the NASDAQ. Considering 90% of NASDAQ volume is just computer algorithms. So it's like 90% of the volume in NASDAQ is literally just computer algorithms. So unless the computer algorithms are squeezed short, which I highly doubt, right? The computer algorithms are not like the human, right? They're not just like holding on to losing trades. They take their losses. But yeah, persistent, yeah, that is definitely a red flag. If we're moving up on low volume, then that's a red flag for sure. I agree. What are your trading hours? Typically 9:30 to about 11. 9:30 to 11, sometimes 11:30. But I really don't like to, like, if it's already pushing 11 o'clock, unless I'm scalping, like on these accounts, unless I'm scalping, I'm not taking, like, you know, a bigger move, because we tend to go sideways, right? 11 o'clock, volume starts to kind of die down. We tend to go sideways, and I don't want to get stuck in a trade for an hour, so. Yeah, at this point, it's like, if you failed, right, this could go higher, but like, if you didn't go long down there, what I don't get what some people do, if you didn't go long here, why would you be going long up here? Bro, that is literally the same thing as, I don't even know the, it's like if a car is cheap and you don't buy it when it's cheap, but you only buy it when it's expensive, it makes no sense. Like, if you didn't buy it when it was X amount of dollars, why are you buying it now that it went up in price? It's a little bit different, but I know, but it's like, it's the same principle. Don't chase it. Do you know last Friday 20 billion was lost by retail? Yeah, it was wild. Wild. Last Friday was a perfect... I had a winning trade on Friday. I had an amazing trade on Friday. But I took the trade. Literally, I got out of my... I was short, too. Actually, I was short. I took profits. And then probably like 10, 15 minutes, it freaking just tanked. But yeah, that last Friday was a perfect example of why you need to have stop losses. You gotta have stop losses. There's no... That is like the holy grail in trading. You gotta protect your account. Because when you go into drawdown, right, it takes more money to make it back. Like, hypothetically, right, if you lose, mathematically, if you lose 50% of your account, let's just say somebody was dumb, right? Somebody didn't take a loss. If you lose 50% of your account, you need to make back 100% to be back to break even. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. For the longest time, I didn't even realize that. But a 50% loss in your account, you need to make 100% to be back to break even. So you've got to take your... You got to have an invalidation when... Like, for example, when I take a trade, I know exactly how much I'm risking per trade. I know exactly where my stop loss is, my TP. Stop loss gets hit, guess what? It is what it is. We'll move on. Tomorrow's a new day. I can make it back. But what's going to be really, really, really difficult to make back is if I take a big hit on my account. Now it's going to be taken. Now instead of taking one trade to make back my loss, I'm going to have to sit there for a whole month to make back that one stupid mistake I took. I don't make those mistakes anymore. That's not even a risk for me. My stop loss is set no matter what. There is no canceling my stop loss. There is no... That just came from experience. Me getting sucker punched by the market enough times to where that's not even a, you know... I don't even struggle with stop losses anymore. That it is what it is. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. It's a part of trading. It's statistics. Even a 90% win rate is going to have losses. Don't rely on stop losses. I mean, you gotta, I mean, the only thing is you can get slipped, but you gotta have a stop loss in place. You can get slipped, but if you get slipped, I would be hammering down that flatten all button if I get slipped. And there are ways to protect yourself on a live account, right? I don't trade live accounts. This is a prop firm account, but this is a prop firm account, so I'm not really, you know, it's not too big of a risk for me because this is technically sim trading. But in a live account, listen, if anyone ever trades a live account, never trade cross margin account. Always trade, what is it called? What's the other margin? It's called isolated margin. You always want to trade with isolated margin account because example, Friday is the perfect example why you want an isolated margin account instead of a cross margin account in terms of live accounts. This doesn't apply to prop firm accounts, only live accounts. Because with a cross margin account, your whole balance, your whole freaking account is at risk. So if something like Friday happens and all the algos are trying to get out, you're trying to get out, nobody can get out because there's nobody on the other end trying to buy your you know, position. So you're getting slipped like crazy. And your whole account is at risk, right? You can lose a fat chunk of your account getting slipped. But with an isolated margin account, you're isolated from the margin in the trade that you're taking. So that broker is going to get you out of that trade. Instead of your whole account being at risk, that's where the term isolated margin, your risk is isolated to the margin in that position. So this is just like a warning, like don't ever have a cross margin account because it's not worth it. And from what I understand is the broker will get you out, right? The risk is isolated to the trade. So if you're risking $500, you're going to lose $500. But that's just like, you know, I'm glad that's something I learned before, like, because what I plan to do is in January, I plan to trade a live account. I plan to trade. Plan to fund a live account and seeing how high I can take that account, and then copy trade my funded accounts on a copy trader. But like that's good, something good to know, because you as a trader, you got to do everything possible to decrease your risk and look at every scenario. Bro, I'm telling you, I look at every scenario. I even have like, if my internet goes out, I know exactly what to do. If worst case scenario, if I'm in a trade and my internet just shuts down, I have it on my phone to where even with PropFirm accounts, I can quickly log on to my Rhythmic within within 10 seconds. I can be logged into my Rhythmic. I can click that flatten all button. Everything gets flattened. So you always have to have a backup plan. Always. You should never be caught off guard to where your internet goes out, there's a flash crash, something happens, and you don't have no idea. You're like a deer in headlights. You have no idea what to do. So, but yeah, like that's the whole isolated and cross margin is nobody really teaches that. Like nobody talks about it. But it's a very important thing when you're trading in a live account. Like, last thing you want is to be building up your account, right? You get to a certain level, you've been working hard for, say, a whole year you've been working hard, and then all of a sudden some stupid flash crash happens, and then you just, like, give back 20% of what you've made. Back in, I think it was 2010, when they had that flash crash, technically what happened Friday was not a flash crash, right? Typically in a flash crash, what happens is it'll crash and then it'll jump back up in price. That's why it's called a flash crash, because it crashes and then jumps back up. Last Friday was more of just like the market tanked, right, because of the news. But in 2010, what happened in 2010, the flash crash, bruh, people got slipped. There were people who got slipped from like anywhere from 100 to 300 points. So can you imagine having a stop loss and getting slipped 100 points or 200 points? That's freaking wild, bro. A bunch of people just like, they lost a massive chunk of their account. Oh, appreciate it. On 60 Minutes, they were talking about crashing market. Talking about crashing market by market outage. Crashing market by market outage? Oh, power outage? And like, here's the thing. It's like a live account and sim accounts are like, they're different, right? The PropFirm accounts. So the way you trade PropFirm accounts, you got to trade a live accounts a little bit differently, because it's more, you know, I think like the orders are stored on your computer in a PropFirm account, but when you trade a live account, obviously the orders are stored on like their servers of the exchange or whatever. So even how your orders get stored is different. Yeah, and emotions on live account are much different too. Yeah, exactly. But that's why you gotta, like, here's, like, for me, I want to trade this is why I kind of trade my PropFirm accounts like I trade my live accounts. Like, I'm pretty much, if I fund a live account, I'm going to be trading it exactly the way I trade these funded accounts. So my transition, in essence, is going to be as smooth as possible. There's nothing different. If I ever decide, if I decide to go to a live account, nothing changes. I may be risking a tiny bit more, from like 400 to 500 bucks a trade, but essentially everything stays the same. Nothing changes. So it's going to be a very smooth transition. They're going to do it like Friday, crash the market with news and a power out. Has that ever happened, a power outage? How is a power outage like? I've never, because the orders are stored on the servers of like the exchange. So I've never heard that happening. If like something like that happens, I mean, they have backup generators and stuff. If something ever like that would happen, I would assume, right? But Bro, I've been through it. I'm telling you, it's like, I've been through the hard. I don't want people to go through what I've been through. I don't want people, I've lost. When I started trading, there were no prop firms. You had to learn either in a sim account or a live account. There was no, you know. So it's like, I've been through it, man. I've been through the ringer, and I've been pushed around. I've taken a beating by the market. So it's like, I had to learn all those. I've made every single mistake you could possibly make as a trader. Not having a stop loss, blowing your accounts, and this and that, and like, but looking back, it's almost like the tuition I paid to the market to learn. Like, looking back now, the ideal thing to do would be trade sim until you prove to yourself that you can at least be break even, or, you know, you could be month after month. You're not blowing your account. Month after month, you're growing your account, and you're disciplined, and you know not to cancel stop losses. You learn all the hard stuff so that you don't have to give money to the market to learn that way. It's almost like if you can go to college or a university for free, or you have to pay $100 grand to go, right? Obviously, it's better to go for free. It's the same thing in the market. It's better to trade a sim account, right? So that when you do lose money, and every trader knows as a beginner, you're going to lose money. There's no if you're going to lose money. You're going to lose money. So it's best to lose it on a sim account, so that when you go to a live account, you're already ready, and you're ready to go. You have your discipline, risk management, all is set. But especially with prop firms right now, there's no reason for anyone really to go to a live account. If you can prove you can trade a sim, have a strategy, go to a prop firm, take an evaluation, pass it, and you can get thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in payouts, like, what's the reason? Unless you're like really good at trading and you really want to, you know, grow your own live account, but that's like way down the line when you've already proven to yourself that you could do it in prop firm accounts. But yeah, I don't like, last thing I want is for people to lose money. That's why I'm a big proponent. You will find nobody else on this platform telling you, don't buy anyone's Discord, don't join any freaking mentorships, don't buy anybody's courses, as far as trading goes, I would say don't pay anybody. Trading is a long-term game. Like, I didn't buy anyone's course, I've not joined anyone's mentor, I learned on my own. You know how I learned? I became obsessed with trading. And I watched a bunch of, even to this day, even though I have a strategy down, I still listen to trading podcasts, and like, you know, I still listen. Why? Because I love trading. It's like, you have to be obsessed with trading to get good at trading. If you're not obsessed with it, if you don't like it, you're not going to get good at it. And it's just a term of, here's the other reason why I say don't buy other people's strategies, is because you can buy someone's kind of mentorship. That strategy may work for them, but it may not work for you, right? So it could be a profitable strategy, but it just may not click in your head. Like, you just may not see it as well as that other person sees it. With your psychology, all that stuff plays into effect. So you don't want to pay for something, and then you try to learn the strategy and you find out it doesn't work for you. Well, now you just paid a bunch of money for just to find out it doesn't work for you. And most of these people that have these strategies, that have these like mentorships or courses or anything, all of that is free on YouTube. Typically, they have a bunch of free content on YouTube. The only difference between a course and you finding it is in a course, it's laid out for you perfectly. But in their YouTube, you have to dig for everything. So, I don't know. I don't see a reason to. You have to find a strategy that works for you. And if you're going to pay for everyone's mentorship and stuff like that, you're going to spend thousands of dollars finding what works for you when you could have done it for free. Now, don't get me wrong. It's going to take you longer to do it for free, but you're not wasting your money. All right. Let's see. I paid $4K for TGR's blueprint. I don't know. I mean, it's just, that's the biggest reason, is because it may not, like, a strategy that works for one person may not work for another person. So it just sucks when somebody pays for something and it doesn't work for them. And that's a huge, like, if you took even TJR's statistics of how many people bought his thing and how many people it actually worked for, I guarantee you it's a very low percentage of how it worked for a small group of people where it actually clicked for them, but most people it probably did not work for. Then I said, I'm in the break-even stage. Been trading for 6. The progression of trading is you start to you typically lose a lot of money, right? Because you don't know what you're doing, so you're kind of like losing. Maybe not necessarily a lot, but you go from losing money to building that discipline, risk management, to then being in the break-even stage, and then from the break-even stage, you start to kind of shift into the profitable stage. Right? Now, you're not crazy profitable. You're a little bit profitable. And then that just starts going from there on out. But there's 3 stages of trading. It's not just like, boom, you're profitable. Can I give you money even though you have no... No, keep your money. I don't want your money. The only way people can support me is if they use my affiliate code, if they buy a valuation account from like Apex or Take Profit Trader. Then I get an affiliate commission. And I appreciate people that use my code. I really do appreciate it. But other than that, like, I'm not... Like, everything I know, I teach it for free. I explain for free on the live. Right? So... And I'm not against, right? I'm not against, like, Discords or courses. I'm not against courses, right? But if you're truly a trader that has maybe experience, has proven track record, by all means start a course. I'm just telling you from the other point of view of the person buying the course. For the person selling the course, okay, it makes sense, right? He has a skill level that 90% of people, 99% of people don't have this skill level, so he wants to be able to teach this skill level to people, right? And there's nothing wrong with somebody that actually knows how to trade selling a course. Nothing wrong with that, especially if they have a strategy that not a lot of people use. But I'm just looking at it from the perspective of the person buying the course. Be careful, because you may pay for that and it may not work for you. So if you're willing to take that risk and you have the money, go ahead, it's your money. But I'm just saying that risk is there. Take profit code TUZ. It's on the screen right below my chin. Pretty much the code is TUZ for Apex and Take Profit Trader. It'll get you 40% off, and Apex 80% off. Apex is 80% off, ends on the 16th. And that $85 activation fee lifetime ends on the 16th, I think. So it's what? Tomorrow. Even Kramer with all the skills inside info loses money. Yeah, Kramer is a whole different thing. Kramer, everyone makes fun of Kramer because he literally, bro, he called the top of the crypto, the top of the move. I saw a thing where he was saying to buy at the very top before the crash. Right? There's a running joke about Kramer about just do the opposite of what he says, because everything he says, the opposite happens. It's kind of funny though. But there's that running joke about him. Which is like kind of sucks if you're in an industry and people are trolling you like to do the opposite of what you say, because everything you say, the opposite happens. It just seems like that, but how much funding you get from Apex? I have well, in terms of accounts, I have my funded accounts. I have 10 funded accounts. Not one of those 10 funded accounts is a $100,000 account. The other 9 are $50,000 accounts. Now I have 5 other evaluation accounts that I'm almost past. I need to get to 3,000. I'm at like $2,000. So I'm like very close to passing those evaluation accounts for another 5 for Apex, and another and 2 for Take Profit Trader. So once I pass less than $1,000 left, once I pass these 7 accounts, I will have 17 funded accounts. Kramer scammed. How did he scam you? What are the what do you mean by qualifications? Like rules or? So you need to make a minimum. Oh, to be funded? All right, so the way these funded accounts work is, like for example, I'm gonna take, and they all have their pluses and minuses, but the way these funded accounts work is you have an evaluation, and in the evaluation, you have, say, the $50,000 accounts, they have a 20 Apex, and I'm talking about Apex right now. They have a $2,400 drawdown, and they have a $3,000 profit target. So you pretty much, once you hit that $3,000 profit target, right, you get paid. There's an activation fee for Apex. Take Profit does not have an activation fee, as long as they have this discount, 40% off. But then you get put in a funded account. And then once you have a buffer zone. So once you're in a funded account, you get to that buffer zone. Typically, it's your drawdown plus $100. Anything past that buffer zone, you can start requesting payouts. So it becomes powerful once you have like 10 accounts, right? You have 10 accounts, right? If you make $100, 10 accounts, you're making $1,000 a day. So that if you're patient, eventually, like you can start taking thousands of dollars in payouts. Like, right? Apex just posted their top for the month, or I don't remember if it's for the month or what, but like somebody just took a $400,000 payout with Apex. So that's the power of prop firms, is scaling. Apex is very popular because you can have up to 20 accounts with Apex. What if you lose? So if you buy the evaluation, Apex right now, 80% off, it's $33. $33 for an evaluation with Apex. If you buy the evaluation and you say you're trading the evaluation and say you fail it, you blow your account, you lose $2,400 and you blow your account. Well, you just failed the evaluation, you have to buy another evaluation. You just cancel your subscription for that evaluation and you buy another evaluation, and you just keep trading until you get funded. I mean, so does Apex have daily? No, Apex does not have daily payouts. I think you have to, they have an 8-day minimum trading. So you have to trade a minimum of 8 days. Take Profit Trader, that's one of the reasons I got Take Profit Trader, is because it has daily payouts. And in terms of the prop firm space, a good idea is once you, now obviously this is like once you have a strategy, you've proven to yourself, once you have a system down in trading, right? The world is like, the world opens up to you, because now you can have up to 20 Apex accounts, you can have 5 Take Profit Trader accounts, you can have Tradeify accounts, you can have a bunch of accounts copy traded, and this is where it comes in, where you see these people making hundreds of thousands of dollars, right, in payouts. They got their system down, right? They're copy trading a bunch of accounts, so they're making crazy money per day, so that when they take a payout, they're taking a $100,000 payout. Do you have to keep paying that? No. So with like for example with Apex does give you the option of choosing a monthly. Instead of paying the lifetime activation fee, you can choose a monthly kind of subscription. I never do that, right? Because I plan to keep my accounts for a very long time. So I pay them, like, it's not that big of a difference. So I pay the lifetime fee. Take Profit Trader, yeah, once you get into account, you don't have a monthly fee anymore. The monthly fee is for the evaluation accounts. But make sure, like for Apex, if you do fail, make sure you cancel that subscription so you don't keep getting charged. You can go into your dashboard and you just cancel subscription if you fail an account. But like right now, right, I have these 10 Apex accounts. I don't pay anything for them, right? So that's why I can kind of take it easy. I don't have to worry about, I have 10 funded accounts. I don't pay a monthly fee for them. They're just there. So they don't cost me anything. So it's like, I can take it easy. I don't have to worry about monthly subscriptions and... You need to know options. I used to trade options, if that's what you mean. Yeah, right now with Ape, I think it's ending on it's ending tomorrow. But right now with Apex, that's like $85 lifetime fees. Typically the lifetime fee is like $140 per an account, I think. It's $85 right now with a discount, and it's a 1 day to pass. So technically, if you got the skill set, you can pass an account, a valuation account in 1 day and pay the $85 activation fee lifetime, and you have that account for you know, for the lifetime. And so on average, how much payout you get per month? Well, the thing about trading is it's never like, right, you don't make consistent, like, and like, to be honest, I haven't, like, this strategy right here, like, it wasn't too long ago when I figured out this strategy, when I realized this strategy and I saw it and I became really, like, so I haven't been trading this strategy that got me profitable for a super long time. But it's like, honestly, I don't have like a count of how much, because there have been a lot of, in my learning, right, there have been a lot of upsides and downsides of trading. So I probably should have like a journal. I mean, I guess like my YouTube or something like that is kind of my journal. But what is the downside of prop? I mean, the one downside of prop firms is that you just kind of, you're the person who keeps blowing evaluation accounts and keeps wasting a lot of money. Like, just because it's a prop firm does not mean you can, like, if you keep blowing accounts and resetting them, blowing, resetting, blowing, resetting, blowing, resetting, you could spend a lot of money per month. So that's the one downside to, and that's the downside, is you can spiral also by resetting accounts. One other downside I would say of prop firms is they have a live trailing drawdown. But the live trailing drawdown does stop once you get past your buffer zone. So that's the other downside. But for me, being a scalper, it doesn't affect me, right? But if that's something that's like a deal breaker for someone, there's other prop firms that don't have. They have an end of day drawdown instead of a live trailing drawdown. How long have you been trading? Can I learn while working full-time? And I've been trading full-time for 3 years. So 3 years full-time. But before that, I learned a lot about trading before that. So I was learning about it before, being like obsessed with it. And then I kind of transitioned into, I had the opportunity to kind of, you know, start doing it full-time, meaning sitting here every single day. Can I learn while working full-time and work up to full? I mean, yeah, it's possible. Of course, it's possible. It's, it'll be difficult, but this is why I say it's like, you got to be obsessed with it, right? If you're not obsessed with something, it's very hard to force yourself to learn something. But when you're like obsessed with trading and you're trying to find out the strategy, you're trying to see like, you're seeing someone else's strategy, then you're going on the charts trying to back test it, and like then you're sitting on the charts watching it in real time trying to see it. It's difficult. Trading is difficult, but is it possible? Of course it's possible. I mean, there's so many sessions, right? You got New York session, you got London session, you got Asia session. So it's like, right, and like Asia session has decent volatility too. It's not just New York session. New York session has better, but it is going to be hard. Trading is hard for everyone in the beginning, because and that's a good thing, right? Because if trading was easy, everyone would be doing it, right? Everyone would, there wouldn't be anything special about trading if everyone was a millionaire trading. Obviously, that would be cool, but any high income skill, and trading is a very high income skill, any high income skill, you have to put in the work to learn it, right? A lot of times, it takes people 3-4 years to become profitable. It's just like somebody going to college to learn a high income skill. Trading's the same way. It takes a long time for most people. What strategy are you using for scalping? So typically for scalping, I look for, like, this kind of would have been a trade setup. So right after this kind of move, once price kind of breaks above, here, I can actually show you, whatever. Once kind of price breaks above this 5-minute and starts trending in one direction, I'm trying to scalp off of imbalances. Because once it trends in one direction, way above this 5-minute range, to me it's showing that we're in an uptrend kind of. So we could go higher. So like, this is something I potentially could have taken, right? So it broke above, just for a quick scalp off that imbalance. And by quick scalp, I mean like 20 points, right? 10, 20 points. Same thing here, right? Price kind of, at this point, I'm getting, like, see, it did work out. Quick scalp. But pretty much above the 5-minute, I look for quick scalps. If price is below the 5-minute, I look for quick shorts. Quick shorts off of, like, I took a short yesterday, a very quick scalp short. Right? I'll show you. It was... yesterday, this was kind of in the 5-minute, but I took this, I took this short right here. Very quick short. I had my order right there, and then, right, price kind of wicked in there. The reason, I know it's in the 5-minute, the reason I took it was because we had view up right here, we had the 200, right? We had just a lot of selling pressure here, a lot of resistance up here. So I figured price can kind of tap right into that resistance, into that imbalance, and quickly sell off. So I had my limit order for selling right in the middle. So that's exactly what happened. Price pushed up, quickly tapped it, and sold off, and I took a quick profit. And those are kind of the quick scalps. Like this kind of strategy where I look for the break inside the 5-minute in a bullish gap, this kind of strategy, I hold longer term. Like, I'll hold for these highs up here. So. And it's kind of good to have two different strategies, just in case, like, one strategy you don't get a setup on. You're not tempted to take a stupid trade. You're just trade your other strategy. Maybe it's a scalping strategy or... Right, we're still kind of... I mean, we're sideways. Alright. I heard they are like quicksand, change rules as they go. They do change rules here and there, but like, it's not like, I wouldn't say it's like out of nowhere, you know, they just quickly change a rule. But, I mean, you just have to, people complain because they don't follow the rules. I mean, it is what it is. Prop firms got to protect themselves too. Like, at the same time, prop firms can't make their rules super easy to where people can just, you know, buy an account, YOLO an account, get funded, and then YOLO another trade, and then end up taking a $100,000 payout. Like, they have to have strict rules in place so that the profitable traders get paid out and the unprofitable traders don't make money. It's just the way a prop firm works. I mean, I understand why they have to have these rules, so you have to just follow the rules. I mean, they're not impossible to follow. It's not like they're rules like, you know, anything like, they give you like, they're doable rules. They're like, you can follow them. It's not hard to follow them. The biggest thing people complain about is live trailing drawdown. And other firms have where you don't. If you're scalping, it doesn't really matter for you. But what was I gonna say? Like, even the 30% consistency rule, like, that's not a bad rule. Like, they don't want right, one trade to be more than 30% of your total profit. Like, it's not a rule that's unreasonable. Why is Ninja Trader app down? The new Ninja Trader app stinks, always down. Is it? The app? I don't know. I don't use the app. I have Ninja Trader on my desktop, and I've never had issues. I've never had a time where Ninja Trader didn't sign me in when I was trying to trade. Bro, I'm obsessed. I want to learn more than anything. I spend all day at work on streams learning too. Bro, that's the way I was. Trust me. It sometimes will seem like crap. I'm not getting it. I'm not like, but just understanding your mind that this isn't just like a 1 year thing. This is a thing that could take, you know, I was obsessed with it. And it took me like 2 years to become break even. So it's just like, it depends how fast you find what works for you, right? I was strategy hopping a lot. Like, I was trying the trend line strategy. I was trying this breakout strategy. I was trying the inverse fair value gap strategy. I was trying this strategy and that strategy. And then finally I found something that worked for me that I really like. And I just stuck to it. That's it. No more switching. So. But your main goal is make sure you don't waste a lot of money. When you're learning, your main goal is to stay in this as long as you can. Because the longer you stay in, and make sure to learn from your mistakes. Journal your trades, see what you're doing wrong. Because the biggest reason I think where it takes a lot of people that stay unprofitable is because they fail to learn from their mistakes. They keep making the same mistake, they oversize, they over leverage. They're not learning from their mistakes, so they keep repeating the same mistake over and over and over again, and they get stuck in that same position. If you don't learn from your mistakes, you're not going to improve. So when you take a loss, make sure to figure out, try to see if you did something wrong, and if you didn't do anything wrong and you followed your plan, I don't consider that a loss. I consider that a win. And just like I tell people every single day, the only way this day can be bad for me is if I break my rules. If I have a losing day, it's not a bad day. As long as I followed my rules, it's a good day. I'm down 400. What should I do? You should probably stop trading for today. If you have to have your rule set. 2 losing trades, I'm out. 1 losing trade, I'm out. You know, 1 losing, 1 winning, I'm out. Like, you have to have a specific rules so that it keeps you from blowing up your account. Have a rule how much you're risking per trade. Have a rule how much max trades you can take per day. So that kind of keeps you level-headed and disciplined so you don't spiral out of control. Bro, I am really hungry. Sorry, I have to solve this verification puzzle again. Oh, I got invited to do, hold on. These verification puzzles suck. They're so laggy. It's crazy. I got invited to participate in the TikTok beta. TikTok beta for Mac. So I may actually start using TikTok on my Mac, which the stream quality is going to be way better. So hopefully that works out and I can start doing that. I could show you, if that's the case, I'd be able to show you my other charts, and like the quality of the stream would be 10 times better in terms of like me being able to show you my other charts and kind of explain it a little bit better, and then being restricted to just, hopefully I can. But I signed up for it and they accepted it. So are you trading anymore? I'm probably gonna hop off soon. I don't think I'm gonna take any more trades. I kind of, you know, at this point it's already past 11 o'clock, so Bro, I'm solving this puzzle and it keeps saying I'm failing it. I guess I'm just stupid. I can't solve a freaking puzzle. Literally, like, I'm solving it and it's saying I'm failing it. It says, not failing, but it says error. Whatever. TikTok's gotta figure out their crap. This is a problem everyone's having. I thought I was just the only one having. Everyone has the same problem. It's like, you would think a company that makes billions of dollars can figure out how to make a normal verification puzzle. Nope. Wild. Bruh. Follow this guy that was live and lost. Yeah, you don't want to follow anybody. Don't copy anyone's trades. Figure out what they do, and if they're doing something right, take it from there. But don't copy people, because yeah, it just pisses you off. If you're like, that's why I tell people, don't copy me, because all people do is they're gonna copy me. If I have a losing trade, then they're gonna get pissed off. Like, you can't copy someone. You have to. Your goal is to learn from what they do and take away something valuable from them. Because you don't know how much they're risking, where they're, you know, there's so much variable. And there's a lag in the stream. There's a lag. So, my entry is going to be different than your entry. So. Alright. I think I'm gonna get kicked out. If I get kicked out, I'm just logging out. I'm gonna leave. So I have 20 seconds left, so it's probably gonna kick me out of the live, this stupid verifications. Network error text. I keep solving it and it says I have a network error. So it's gonna kick me off in 9 seconds. So y'all, I will see you tomorrow, 9:30. I'll be back. So if you wanna stop by, see you guys tomorrow. Peace out. It's like so